Hey, how's it going, everyone? Hope you've all had an enjoyable week. So to kick things right off, I just want to bring up Cautious Hero. Had a pretty interesting episode. Some new characters were shown off, and some old ones as well. Seiya's trainer looks like he found himself in a different profession. Poor guy. But at least he was able to kind of get back into the flow of things with MASH. So that's an upside for him. But the new character that I want to point out is Adanella. I don't know. I kind of preferred her older, unkempt self, if I might say so. Though her reaction at the end, I don't know who to find at fault more, but Seiya's rejection, pretty savage. But I don't know what is it with this thing against cakes. Now that was just interesting in its own right. But especially with Listarte trying to get his attention to try and fix this whole situation that he inadvertently caused, was just hilarious. And the fact that he actually just wants to progress through. I mean, props to him. Good for him. He's actually trying to go after the end game here, but he's caused some chaos, hasn't he? But yeah, Adanella, definitely one of the best characters so far for this series, at least. Though one thing I do just want to get onto is Elulu. The poor girl, like, just the fact that she can't find any way to be useful was just disheartening. And then the whole way that episode ended, like just dropping that bomb, like, I get it that she might have this chance to be useful, but I like, you can't help, you feel really bad for her, given the way that things kind of turned out. Like, she doesn't have any talent supposedly other than to be sacrificed for this fucking weapon. Probably, in my opinion, in the same league as Clara on the list of girls that we absolutely must protect. All right, and then my second pick for this week, Ortiski. So the whole dance sequence was just lovely, and I like how it kind of had kind of like these accents that highlighted each character's kind of character, if I can put it like that. Like Cosmos had this kind of like graceful, like most majestic and beautiful, pretty atmosphere to it, but then especially when we get to Pansies, with the whole red dress and stuff, like, it has that sense of like there's still some kind of intensified chaos happening between these two, but you can't. I really want him to like accept her for the way she is. I mean, okay, she is a stalker, and that's not cool and all, but I mean, come on. Okay, so Pansy, and then especially Asanaru, like, I feel bad for Asanaru because given she's actually like the one girl that, okay, her methods were really out of line, but she genuinely liked Joro, and that could have been his chance for like an actual genuine romance. Pansy is like the kind of extreme of that. Cosmos and his childhood friend, like, that obviously is starting to become something, and it's kind of funny because they all like Sunchan to begin with, but now that's just gone. I mean, given stuff did happen, maybe that's why they don't like him anymore, but I think it's funny that this is actually turning out to be a harem, but it's weirdly enough the most interesting, or one of the most interesting ones that we've seen in a while. But yeah, I think it's just hilarious. It's kind of turning into this, like, he has a harem but he doesn't want it type of situation, especially with, if you've seen this current week's episode. Okay, so next up, Assassin's Pride. Now this is kind of like a mixed bag for a lot of people. I just want to point out like at least a positive for that episode, and that's Ellie and Melida's fight. I just thought it was really touching to see them connect at the very end, but like the animation and the fight, the whole, like, I don't know what it is with like the whole mana outline thing, but it just looked epic. And the way Melida kind of like surprised Ellie by showing that how much stronger she has gotten, and I kind of appreciate that we didn't really get like a training montage or like a lot of time spent on the training, because we get it, we know what's happening behind the scenes, we don't really need to see it, and that's gonna tie into like another point later on. But I just thought the fight itself was really well animated, and I just loved that moment when Ellie and Melida were actually connecting for once after having so much like of this family tension that kind of split them off. So that was just really great. Now the part I do want to touch upon is the cut, the way that everyone's pointing it out is this cut that happens that kind of interrupts the momentum of that of what happened after the fight. So the little assassin girl, I'm really bad with names in case you haven't realized, but it kind of just cuts with Kufa hitting her and then just switching into a different environment. And the way I thought of it at first was that it kind of flashed back to setting this whole thing up, but it seems like that's not the case anymore. So yeah, that's a little bit confusing in its own right, but yeah, the series is rushed. I will agree with that. Actually no, I will wholly agree with it. It's really rushed. But I don't think it's as bad as everyone thinks it is. Maybe that's just me being a bit too optimistic. Would it have been better to see the fight? Probably, but I mean, we can kind of fill in the gaps. But hey, at least she's joining in, and especially as an instructor. Like we've seen our lolly teachers quite often, but this one I'm quite excited to see what happens with. All right, so War of Underworld is coming back here, and I just want to really highlight the two kind of like touching moments. One of which, I don't know if touching is the right word, sad. When Tease and Ronnie came in and discovered Kirito's state, as well as finding out that Yujiro had died. Now, every time I rewatch that scene, I just start shaking and I really start to like tear up, like without fail. It's just such a good scene, and the way that is it Swordland, the theme, the slow Swordland theme playing in the background just added just that much to the effect of that scene. I absolutely like love that reveal. Maybe I shouldn't say loved it. I felt it a lot. And then Alice kind of trying to connect with them too was really nice. But that ending, oh my god, the Unlasting by Lisa, like the ending was already really good, but you put that as the background to this like build up of this fight, this war that's about to like unveil. You got yourself a winner. That was just, oh my god, the goosebumps I got from that scene was amazing. But yeah, and then lastly, Azur Lane. Another mixed bag that I still want to highlight. Fan service was great. Okay, I take that back. It wasn't as great, but let's not look at it as being censored and just causing this huge clusterfuck, but rather think of what it can be, right? When it delivers, when it's released, at least we know that all they have to do is just remove those bars. Hopefully. I mean, I think I'd rather take in the public release, or I mean the television release, if it's released on TV. I don't know how anime works in Japan, but just putting the bars over, at least we know that all they have to do is just remove them. But yeah, not only that, but this scene with the lollies. I mean, is there anything else to say about it? It was great. It was adorable. That's all it was. Pure and adorable. I don't know what else you might have thought I would have brought up, but yeah. Anyways, that's gonna do it for this highlight video. I will see you guys next week. Oh, but also, of course, I would like to know what were your favorites. But with that said, yes, I will go now. I am hungry.